it's very difficult to understand why Mr. Hichilema's government is insistent on burying President Lungu in Lusaka and them taking charge of the funeral. A person is buried by his friends and family. A corpse belongs to nobody, but with the first claimant being the family. There is nobody whose corpse is owned by the state. The state does not own a human being. So we can't understand why Mr. Hichilema, who was not on talking terms with Mr. Lungu, who was not a friend of Mr. Lungu, who had no dealings whatsoever with Mr. Lungu, he's insistent on getting him buried in Lusaka and with him being in charge of the funeral. You can't be in charge of a funeral of a person you never spoke to, you had no relationship with. You had also stripped of all honors. Why are they interested in honoring a corpse when they were not interested in honoring a human being who was alive? They are placing death above life. Life is more important than death. They never honored him in his life. Why are they so insistent on giving him military honors in his death?
Dr. Mmembe, that's precisely my question. What is behind all of this animosity, the disagreements, and we were under the impression that former President Lungu wasn't going to receive a funeral in Zambia with stipulations that given the fact that there were talks between the two parties. How did the situation deteriorate so quickly? And I want to look beyond the full military honors which the Attorney General is citing as reasons for why they believe
it's a horrible case taken by the Attorney General of Zambia. There's no legal basis, even in Zambian law. There's no piece of legislation in Zambia that requires a former president to be buried in the way they're suggesting. There's no such a law that they can quote. They are quoting precedents. Those precedents are not legal precedents. There's no law, and I'm a lawyer. I'm talking to you as a lawyer. There's no law. And I challenge anybody to show me what that law is in Zambia. There's no such a law in Zambia.
So, Dr. Mmembe, so they mentioned the precedent of the burial, Dr. Kaunda, how there were some considerations that related to interment at Embassy Park as a reason for asking to do this. But my bigger, deeper question is around national interest. So the citing of former President Lungu as a public figure and a national symbol.
National interest is not a law. There's no law called national interest. I was very close to Dr. Kaunda. Dr. Kaunda didn't want to be buried where he's buried. But that came up as a matter of agreement later on. There was a division within Kaunda's family. There were those who went with the government, and there were those who were opposed to the government to bury him where he's buried. But at the end of the day, those who were with the government won. So there was a division in Kaunda's family. But it was not by law necessarily. There is no law that compels a former president to be buried the way they're suggesting. There's no such a law. And there's no law that can allow them in the courts of South Africa. There's no such a law. It's an exercise in futility. What I don't understand is their desperation, excessive desperation, to bury a person they never liked.